Major funding for this Read 180 workshop is provided by the National Science Foundation, America's investment in the future.
At Jif Peanut Butter, we know just how choosy you are when it comes to your family, including the shows you value most. Public television encourages kids' curiosity and love of learning, and Jif is proud to support Cyberchase on behalf of all choosy moms and dads.
Intel Corporation is a proud supporter of PBS. The Intel Innovation in Education Initiative provides teachers with the resources to inspire their students and encourage them to unlock their potential.
And by a ready-to-learn television cooperative agreement from the U.S. Department of Education through the Public Broadcasting Service.
And by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This program was also made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to Workshop 2, Tsunami, Disaster of the Century. The crashing of ocean waves is usually a soothing sound. But when an earthquake rocks the ocean floor, the soothing sea can become a ticking time bomb. A powerful wave ripples outward, gaining momentum until it hits the shore as the monster wave called a tsunami. Moving at the speed of a jet plane, submerging whole buildings, a tsunami swallows up everything in its path. The deadliest tsunami in recorded history struck the Eastern Hemisphere in December 2004, destroying whole towns and leaving over 200,000 dead. In this workshop, you'll revisit this crisis and see how people coped in its wake. You'll read about the magnitude of the ocean's attack, meet a girl who experienced the tsunami's terror firsthand, and see how people's will to rebuild was mightier than the tsunami's power to destroy. Our video story is about a remarkable culture that used its ancient wisdom to escape the tsunami's fury. It was a day the world will never forget, the disaster of the century. Reading 1, Waves of Destruction. Tsunami is a Japanese word for harbor wave, a gigantic wave that starts far away, deep at the bottom of the ocean, and can wreak disaster when it reaches the shore. The 2004 tsunami began off the coast of Indonesia, set in motion by a massive underwater earthquake there. The earthquake displaced or moved the ocean water above it, and like ripples in a pond, the wave gathered energy as it raced toward the shore. Moving across the open water at 400 to 500 miles an hour and reaching the height of a 3-story building, the tsunami struck 12 different countries. In this online news article, you'll learn what happened the day the earthquake rocked the sea. Reading 2, Terror and Tragedy. The 2004 tsunami killed over 200,000 people. In some cases, whole families drowned in the wave. Latha, a 16-year-old girl from India, lost her mother when the tsunami struck their village on the Indian Ocean. Latha's town was nearly washed away. Homes and businesses in this beachfront area were destroyed in the blink of an eye. Many survivors were stranded at sea, waiting for help to arrive. The lucky ones who lived, like Latha, faced grief and an uncertain future. Everything must be rebuilt. Their houses, their boats, their shops. But the people they lost can never be replaced. In Latha's personal narrative, you'll see how bravely she survived that horrible day. Reading 3, Relief and Recovery. Survivors living closest to the epicenter of the earthquake, the place above where it hit, suffered the worst damage from the 2004 tsunami. They needed urgent help to clean up the area and prevent the spread of bacteria and disease from thousands of dead bodies, garbage, and debris. The awful economic impact complicated the situation. Survivors had no way to earn money because the wave demolished their job sites, like tourist hotels, fishing boats, and stores. Emergency aid organizations like the Red Cross and Habitat for Humanity stepped in to help. They collected cash donations from millions of people around the world to buy food and medicine for the victims. In the United States, former Presidents Bill Clinton and George Bush joined forces to lead a nationwide fundraising effort. In this social studies text, you'll read about how the world sprung into action to help tsunami victims pull through and rebuild. The Moken people lead simple, unsophisticated lives on the Andaman Sea, untouched by the modern world or the latest technology. But when the tsunami came, they had an advanced early warning system themselves. You'll be amazed at how the people of this culture used the wisdom of their ancient ancestors to escape the deadly wave. The Wave Watchers. The 2004 tsunami took over 200,000 lives. The shocking tragedy seemed to catch everyone by surprise. But there was one group of people living right in the path of the wave who miraculously survived. They are the Moken, a culture of sea-dwelling people who have lived for centuries along the coast of Thailand and Burma. The Moken are nomadic, hopping from island to island in the Andaman Sea. They spend 7 or 8 months a year on the water, catching fish to eat and to sell. In fact, they are so well adapted to the sea that many Moken can dive to depths of 75 feet without scuba gear and stay underwater twice as long as the average human. Their kids learn to swim before they can walk. The killer wave threatened to wash this ocean paradise and everyone in it off the map. But not a single Moken villager died in the tsunami because they knew it was coming. On December 26, 2004, a Thai movie star called Aun was visiting a Moken village, taking pictures. Suddenly, a Moken woman noticed the sea pulling away from the shore, almost vanishing. Her frightened cry sounded the alarm. Something wasn't right. As Aun snapped and snapped, he captured something amazing, the sight of the Moken running to reach higher ground. Aun was confused, but for the Moken, bad signs were everywhere. The usually loud cicadas fell silent. Schools of dolphins were swimming further out to sea. Aun had a feeling the Moken knew something. They did know. Their ancient ancestors had seen tsunamis before and had passed the story of the laboon, the wave that eats people, from one generation to the next. According to the legend, a wave floods the earth to make it clean again. But before it hits, the sea vanishes. Millions saw the vanishing sea that day and did nothing. But when this Moken saw the ocean recede, he frantically urged his family to run.
I said, we've told the story of the wave since the old times, but none of the kids believed me. I grabbed my daughter by the hand and said, "Child, get out of here or you'll die."
Minutes later, the wave hit, but the Moken escaped. The tsunami destroyed their boats and their belongings, but the Moken are rebuilding their floating homes and returning to the sea, watching the waves and passing on the story of the giant laboon to the next generation.